the glittering lights of the Las Vegas Strip. They lure high rollers with the promise of big money. The bright lights also attract the biggest stars in the world of bodybuilding. Over the next few days, an elite group of bodybuilders will cross this stage, all with the same goal: to win the title of Mr. Olympia. This Las Vegas event is an entire weekend focused on muscularity. There's the gymnastic fitness competition and the top women in bodybuilding. But nothing can outdo the massive men vying to become Mr. Olympia.
This is a very close competition. These are elite bodybuilders. Mr. Olympia is the highest bodybuilding show that you could win. So each one of these athletes have prepared are the best in the world.
They are drawn by the prestige and a prize package totaling $380,000.
This is the World Series, this is the Super Bowl, this is the heavyweight championship all rolled into one. This is the apex of the sport. This is what every bodybuilder, every kid that goes into his garage to lift weights in the middle of winter, this is what he wants to be.
You cannot look at any of these people and not have a reaction. For some, the big muscles are a turnoff, and the characters look frightening.
People look at bodybuilders and think that they're from outer space to have that much muscle and to look like that.
For others, nothing is more beautiful. Either way, they make you pay attention.
This is what I was waiting for. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I came to the Mr. Olympia competition to get inside the world of bodybuilding, to find out how and why these men and women sculpt their bodies into a mass of muscle. My guides will be three of the best: Craig Titus, the local boy with a tough guy image; Gunter Schlierkamp, a 6'2" import from Germany; and the reigning champ, Mr. Olympia for 4 years running, Ronnie Coleman. When you hear your name as the winner, the best in the world, what's going through your mind and your body?
Every time I win this thing, I'm just as shocked as I was the first time I won.
How do you get to be Mr. Olympia? For Ronnie Coleman, a reserve officer with the Arlington, Texas Police Department, it's heavy work. Getting ready for a competition is a 16-week ordeal of strict diet and heavy training. Here's where the term pumping iron comes from. In the leg press, Ronnie can push 1,800 pounds 15 times. It's an incredible amount of weight, the same as lifting 2 elephants. Without a doubt, these are the stars of bodybuilding. It's a rare opportunity to see the cream of the crop all in one room. So reporters, photographers, and devoted fans jammed this auditorium for the Mr. Olympia weekend press conference.
Which one of your peers up there do you think can beat you or come close?
I don't know yet. The contest has been held.
Tell me about the fans of this sport.
We have the most passionate fans. You're a bodybuilding fan, you read the bodybuilding magazines, you go to the gym, you train, you diet, you think you're one of them. You want to be one of them. You can be one of them. Anybody could be a bodybuilder.
T-shirts are 20 and keychains are 5.
Hundreds of devoted bodybuilding fans lined up to pay for an autograph and a chance to have a picture taken with their heroes. Perhaps the next Mr. or Ms. Olympia.
Now, what other sport does that? Can you imagine 2 days before the Super Bowl that the fans can come and hang out with the players? The players are locked in their room. So where people were saying that the bodybuilders look menacing, they're the most fan-friendly athletes I've ever seen. They love the camera.
Nice.
And the cameras love them. The bodybuilding industry could not survive without heroes. Do they sell magazines? You bet they do. In 2002, the Weider publishing empire that prints 7 magazines about bodybuilding and fitness was bought for $350 million. Bodybuilding's come a long way, thanks in part to one man. Arnold Schwarzenegger was just 23 when he won his first Mr. Olympia title. That was in 1970, when the cash prize was a mere $1,000. But the big payoff was how the charismatic bodybuilder parlayed those wins into superstardom. Today, he's a millionaire many times over. His success raised the bar.
Is it harder to continue winning and stay on top?
It's harder as time goes on because the competition now is significantly more difficult than it was in Arnold's day.
How so?
More competitors. When Arnold won the Olympia for the first time in 1970, there was only 3 or 4 guys in the contest. Here there's 25 people. Ronnie Coleman has 24 guys that are after him.
Günter Schlierkamp is hot on Ronnie's heels. His charm and charisma make him the bodybuilder most likely to be heir to Arnold's throne.
I'm passionate about the sport, and since I was a kid and looked at the videotapes and I say, I want to be one time on that stage. But to win it, it would be my dream, yeah.
Every one of these competitors redefines the word big. But none of them has a bigger, more infectious smile than Günter.
Naturally, I'm a shy guy. I mean, I'm really shy. Yes, a lot of people would say, no way, but actually I am. When I stepped the first time on stage, I didn't even look in the audience. I was posing like this and I kept my head down.
4 times, Günter has stepped onto the Mr. Olympia stage, but he's never made it into the top 10. For the man who wins Mr. Olympia, and Ronnie Coleman's done it 4 times, the sky is the limit.
Can they make millions of dollars? Can they make hundreds of thousands? I mean, what is their hope?
I would say Ronnie Coleman, not to divulge anything, I don't know if the IRS is watching. He doesn't make 7 figures, but it's getting close. But you gotta remember, they're also living the lifestyle they love to live.
Quarter turn to the right.
Men and women are judged on a point system. 12 judges will scrutinize the bodybuilders. There are 4 rounds of posing. The number of competitors is whittled down until there are just 6. The judges look for more than just bulk.
All these bodybuilders are compared to see which bodybuilder has what's called symmetry. This is where the eyes of a judge wants to see a body that looks pleasing. And it all depends also on the judge's perspective and also on the judge's opinions.
So it is subjective.
Very much. He can tense his leg either straight on, or he can show it where he's showing more like separation in his thigh.
Craig Titus and Rich Gaspari agreed to show me how the poses are done. I've got to tell you, standing next to Craig, dressed in only his trunks, I began to get an idea of just how big these bodybuilders really are. At 5'9" and 245 pounds, Craig is an average Mr. Olympia contender. But there's nothing average about 21.5-inch arms, 30-inch quads, and a 54-inch chest.
He's showing his symmetry, showing his front, how small his waist is, how his development is of his upper body to his lower body.
First, he showed me the mandatory poses, where the judges look for the all-important symmetry.
He's still in a relaxed pose, but he is posing.
This is a relaxed pose?
He's tensing right now, and he is flexed, but this is called the relaxed posing round.
Then they move on to the muscularity round, showing off individual muscles.
Relax.
Does that hurt?
It's strenuous. It doesn't hurt, but it does take a lot out of you. I'm breathing through my chest.
I hear you breathing. I mean, it's almost like working out. It's like cardiovascular.
Very much so. It's just like working out.
Would I mess anything up if I just touched it while you're in this state?
Not at all.
I mean, for everybody out there.
It's hard, right?
It's like a rock. Let me try something. Not that I have, you know, any kind of muscular structure here,
I was thinking
but
maybe front no bicep.
What is that?
Okay, that's where you're gonna take your biceps like this, up over the top. You're gonna keep rolling up to the side.
Okay.
So the definition.
Out. Okay.
And you're gonna bring your arms right over the side.
Suck in the stomach.
Suck in the stomach and
up,
flex your arms.
Flex your arms. And that's it.
Okay, feel my muscle.
And then when the crowd goes nuts, Joan, you can come down and give them most muscular.
Most muscular.
Bam! And there you have it.
My pecs.
Future Miss Universe.
I need a little work here, I can tell.
Coming up, diet secrets for vein-popping muscles. And
It's an amino-based pre-workout drink.
how to turn those muscles into money. Five of the top bodybuilders in the world are here in Las Vegas, competing to become the next Mr. Olympia. And it's not just the guys. In 1980, the International Federation of Bodybuilders, which governs the competition, added a separate women's title, Ms. Olympia. Linda Murray retired from the sport after winning the title 6 times. Now she's back to try for number 7.
Oh, winning it means everything. I'm the best in the world on planet Earth. Best female bodybuilder.
In 1995, they added the fitness contest, and Kelly Ryan is one of the country's top competitors. Her husband is bodybuilder Craig Titus. Between the two of them, building muscle has consumed their lives.
So to maintain this kind of physique, I mean, we're talking about 4 to 8 hours a day, depending on whether you're in competition or not.
That's correct. But it's so worth it, you know, and this is something that I'm very blessed because I'm able to compete as a professional athlete and still remain completely feminine.
Speaking of looking feminine, I might have expected the super muscular men to be attracted to the women of bodybuilding. But as we watched Linda Murray on stage during the women's compulsory round, Craig made a stunning confession.
I'm not a real big fan of female bodybuilding myself.
Yeah.
To me, it's a little strange, but at the same token, I have a great deal of respect for these athletes because I know what they have to do.
I love it. I love the muscle, and I think it's beautiful.
And while we're on the subject, how many people find the pumped-up men attractive?
Most women don't like it. Most women think it's disgusting. But the women that do like it are very beautiful women.
Bodybuilding is an entire industry, generating billions of dollars every year. Like the sales floor at a big convention, the Mr. Olympia Expo is packed with hundreds of booths with everything for the full-blown pro or the wannabe bodybuilder. Drink this, eat that, and you too can be cut, shredded, or even freaky. For the translation, I turned to one of the Mr. Olympia judges.
So give me a couple of definitions, okay? Shredded.
Shredded is someone that you can see not only the muscle definition, but you can actually see, it's almost like an anatomy chart. You can see the fibers of their muscle.
Cut up.
You can see the separation in their muscles, but they're not to that next level of being shredded. They're just cut up.
Freaky.
It all depends on the individual. There's certain bodybuilders that come in shredded and also come in very vascular and also with a lot of muscle. So this could be someone really freaky.
So that's with almost all the veins completely like popping out?
Veins are out.
Vascular?
They're 260 pounds, all muscle, no body fat. You just see an anatomy chart and they just look freaky.
When people look at these bodybuilders with their gigantic muscles, one thought comes to mind. It just can't be natural.
What do you think are the misconceptions about bodybuilders?
I think one of the things is always, they look like that because they take drugs. Well, you know what? If we can all just take some drugs and take it at home and not have to work and stuff,
You can't just get it with steroids. No, you gotta go to that gym every day, day after day.
Right. Otherwise, give me the magic pill. I'll stay home.
Wayne D'Amelia says his biggest concern is the health of the athletes.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk, too, about the steroid use. What's the official IFBB stand
IFBB
on?
is against steroid use like every other sports federation. and we test for certain steroids that we can detect for. The athletes are getting paid big money, so they can hire what they call nutritional gurus or drug gurus to change the chemical structure of a drug so that the testing cannot detect it.
It's not about the steroids. And that's kind of like upsets me sometimes that people say, oh, it's a steroid-used sport. I say, you know what, of course here and there some people try to use it to get there quicker, but I work out now for 16 years. So, you know, I'm solid.
For every Mr. Olympia competitor, the few minutes on stage represent the culmination of years of grueling workouts and extreme personal sacrifice.
Lightweight, baby! Yeah!
The top ranks of professionals here have spent years building their muscles. Even then, the 12 to 20 weeks before the contest is filled with intense training. Each competitor has their own unique strategy, but they all include daily heavy workouts, cardiovascular exercise, and a diet that builds muscle and sheds fat.
Bodybuilders know more about nutrition than any other athlete. When you watch them lose weight so quickly, they know what foods do, they know what foods work for them, what don't.
50 grams of good old oatmeal. Don't get no better than this.
For most of us, dieting means cutting out dessert. For these pros, it's a science. At this level, most bodybuilders eat 6 times a day. Just about every meal is plain chicken and maybe some rice.
This is chicken tenders, about 2 days worth.
The goal is to end up having that anatomy chart look, with nothing between your muscle and the judge's eye. What's their secret?
He's eating a diet, obviously, that's eliminating fat, and whatever fat cells he has left on his body, he's eliminating the water so it doesn't retain fluid, so the fat cells are tight. That's how they get that tissue paper effect.
It's all precisely timed so that when they walk on stage, the contestants have that gaunt look even they call freaky.
Exactly, and then today, like we're a contest, so we're all...
Yeah, you got a thin face, right, because no water?
Right, and it's not, you know, give me Saturday and I'll be nice and full and, you know, behind hanging out.
On the eve of the Mr. Olympia competition, Craig Titus allowed us behind the closed doors of his hotel room. I discovered that he breaks his diet. Unlike the others, after eating lean for weeks, today he'll load up on junk food.
A few muffins, French toast, syrup, and I'll eat high sugary, high carbohydrate foods till about 5, and then I'll back off a little bit, and then the water will come up running my skin, and tomorrow I'll rock and roll, yeah.
Craig has one final day of preparation. The Mr. Olympia competition is still 24 hours away. Tonight belongs to the women of Ms. Olympia. Thousands of fans watch the fitness competitors blast out their exhausting 2-minute routines. When the judges total the scores, the Fitness Olympia champ is Susie Curry, who wins her 3rd title. Kelly Ryan places 2nd.
It was close. I was shaking. I'm like, please, please. But you know what? I'll take 2nd any day among this lineup. It's really, I feel good about it.
The women bodybuilders take the stage in 2 weight divisions. Linda Murray is among the heavyweights. Her husband is there for her attempt at a record-setting 7th win.
First place for Ms. Olympia goes to Linda Murray.
Linda completes an incredible comeback. After 5 years off, she regains the title Ms. Olympia.
When they said my name, reminded me of my first Olympia, but this is truly unbelievable. I still don't believe it. I really don't.
Next, When the champions of bodybuilding go on stage, I'll uncover what you never see backstage. And what this can of cooking spray has to do with Mr. Olympia.
Here on the Las Vegas Strip, behind the closed doors of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, it's down to the final round to determine who will walk away with the title, Mr. Olympia.
Backstage in the world fans never see, the finishing touches of a perfect tan are sprayed on. A deep, even tan will keep the bright lights from washing out their bulging muscles.
Even black guys tan, and they put tanning lotion on their bodies because they would look gray under the bright light. For us as a white guy, you notice that the cuts look deeper, you look kind of sharper, the lines come more out if you're darker, or you look almost black. Yeah, this is true.
The glistening shine comes from oil. The meaty bodybuilders use the same non-stick spray found in your kitchen.
Actually, I like to use this Pam spray. Pam spray, what you use to, broil meat with and everything in pans and everything.
The last tweak before going out on stage is the pump. It's a little work with light weights to get blood in the muscles. The pump won't build muscle. If they don't have it now, it's too late.
And there's always a certain smell backstage. It's not a bad smell. It's like an oil smell, like cooking spray. To a bodybuilder, it's like ready to war. Like we're gonna go on stage and rock.
This is your 4th year. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger did what, 6 years, 7 times?
7.
Are you gonna try to break that record?
I'm gonna try it with every ounce of muscle I got to break it.
Quarter turn to the right.
In the afternoon, all 25 competitors from cut to shredded to freaky are on stage for the mandatory poses. This is where judges look for symmetry and muscularity. These 2 rounds make up half their score.
Well, I've always told everyone that it's easier to be a competitor than a judge. When you're a competitor, you're worried about yourself. As a judge, you're worried about the placing of everyone on that stage and justifying it. So I find it's very, very challenging.
The 4th round is for individual posing routines. Each bodybuilder gets a few minutes to show off their strongest features, and they each add their own personality to the show. Craig Titus puts in a solid routine. The always smiling Gunter Schlierkamp is a crowd favorite. The fans pumped Gunter up as much as the weights.
Awesome! Oh, like a star, yeah. It was nice. I didn't expect that much. It was unbelievable. I mean, that's all I can ask for.
Four-time Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman shows why he is a champ.
I'm very proud of myself. I worked my butt off, literally, to get in the kind of conditioning I got in. And it all came together really good.
In the final hours, the bodybuilders are running on empty. They go back on stage dehydrated and hungry, then exhaust themselves, flexing every muscle as hard as they can. They come off stage totally drained. Backstage, behind closed doors, a tank of oxygen helps the competitors catch their breath.
It's like running a marathon. Your breathing sped up, your heart sped up. It's very strenuous.
Finalist number 1, competitor number 1, Orville Burke.
The judges add up the scores to determine which 10 bodybuilders will finish with cash prizes.
I'm just hoping I'm in the top 10 because in this lineup, if you made the top 10, you're a really good bodybuilder.
While Gunter and Ronnie move up, Craig doesn't make the cut. The last cut leaves 6 bodybuilders on stage. This will be their final chance to show the judges what they've got.
And sometimes from, believe it or not, from the morning to the night, competitors can change. And if it's very, very close, a bodybuilder can get 1 point ahead or get ahead of one of the other bodybuilders. So this could be a very important round.
The last round is the explosive pose down. The pose down is an improvised free-for-all, where showmanship may count as much as physique. When it came time to hand out the biggest awards of the night, Gunter finished number 5. The crowd booed because Gunter did not place higher. While they might have been disappointed, Gunter was on top of the world.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, you made my day. That means more to me than the placing. Thank you very much.
And this year's Mr. Olympia is Ronnie Coleman.
Coming out on top for the 5th year in a row, Ronnie Coleman. He took home $110,000, a Cadillac SUV, the trophy, and all the bragging rights that come with it.
Competition is fierce. This is Mr. Olympia. This ain't no backyard show. This is the best show in the whole wide world. So you can never take this show lightly. This is the best in the world. And I'm the best in the world for 5 years in a row.
When I first got to the Mr. Olympia competition, I didn't know what to expect. But after seeing the work and dedication that goes into becoming one of the world's elite, I have a new respect for the giants of bodybuilding.